pretend we're not doing something.
Yeah. Okay, so I know you told me you didn't see this, right? To
Uh,
me,
I
to me,
haven't seen it.
dude,
I'm looking.
this ties into everything in my opinion.
What do you mean? What is everything?
The the day Charlie Kirk died, I remember seeing this post from Trump, and you didn't see it, right? A lot of people
I
didn't
just
because it like got deleted and people weren't talking about it much. But I saw this tweet from Trump. You see, we got the U.S. flag here.
I
We
do.
got the Israeli flag, and then we have Shlomo Pearl here, right? Weird
Okay,
thing.
what
Great.
what is Shlomo Pearl?
So check this out. This is another one of those things that's weird as frick. And I
Yeah.
screenshotted this. A lot of people screenshotted this because I knew it was going to get taken down. When Trump first posted this after Charlie died, it said Shlomo Pearl. And if you looked up what Shlomo Pearl meant, this is what it said. In Israeli slang, Shlomo Pearl, or variations like Shlomo Perel, is used to describe a naive, gullible, or easily manipulated person, similar to a useful idiot or patsy. It's often derogatory, implying someone who's overly trusting and falls for tricks. This usage appears in online discussions and media, possibly inspired by the historical figure, but evolved into slang. So I thought that was like when I saw that, I knew first off, are you looking it up right now?
I am. Can you see
It's
me?
gonna yeah, no, I can't see your screen, but you can share it or you can just say what it says. Cause now, heck, I'll share it.
Well, I'm looking. All right,
If you
call
just go to
me.
Google, check this out. If you go
What?
now, it's like, oh, it's actually there's this guy Solomon Pearl, and he was, this Holocaust survival. Then check this. Look at this bottom part.
I'm
Online
looking. I'm looking.
discussions on Reddit clarify that Shlomo Pearl is not a slang. This totally changed, dude. I'm not kidding, because if you looked it up right when Charlie died and Trump made that freaking post, it said, yo, this is a derogatory term, meaning useful idiot. Now they've like erased that history. Anyways,
Okay. All right. All right. Do you know? Have you heard of Perplexity AI before?
yeah.
That's what Joe Rogan uses to check things out. Shout out Joe Rogan. Um, what it does is it just looks over the internet to try to find truth. You can ask about any topic, conspiracy. It'll give you an unbiased opinion of what's out there. I
What's it
just
say?
asked Perplexity AI, did Trump post Charlie Kirk with the word Shlomo Pearl below them? How do you pronounce that? It says yes. Yes, he did. Um,
Yeah.
it does say, however, I can't confirm the original post directly from sources I'm seeing right now. Social reposts, not Trump's own verified text or image.
Right. But because, dude, I'm telling you, they are erasing that history. Because when I saw this, I mean, I remember, mom was over at my house when it happened. When Trump made this post, she went from like, you know, being on one side of the Israel thing to being like, oh my gosh, something is up here, and we'll get to that later. Because I knew, as did a lot of people, once this happened, I'm like, things aren't normal. Something's very deeply wrong here.
I thought
Okay,
Benjamin
so
Netanyahu just wants to make us bagels.
he might,
I,
he might.
okay, all right.
Okay, so now explain this. You have a better handle on the Strategic Petroleum Reserve.
Cool. Okay, so can you explain this graph to me? I don't know what this graph is talking about.
This is just where it's at, because basically here's where we're at. We got 330 million barrels in the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, compared to what's historically been an average of like 714 million. As you can see,
Yep.
last few years it's been tough. It's been depleting. To now, this is just the last few months here at the end. Total drop off, like urgent, you know, things. It's not good. Not good. Explain what the Strategic Petroleum Reserve is too. I have some slides too to show after, but
Okay. The SPR, or Strategic Petroleum Reserve, it was meant to be a good idea. It still could be. what it was a reserve of oil that we held that we could use to influence global markets and global economies. Energy is a big factor in global economies. So let's say when we started supplying other countries with oil, or we were looking to buy oil, we could choose to either release some of our large reserve of oil. We could choose to either release some of that or to buy more to influence the market price of oil. We also use that as quote unquote like a hidden ghost war, people call it, when we try to mess with other countries'
Right.
economies. If China or Russia is trying to get into the oil game, either buying or selling, we can then again just release a ton of oil, make oil super cheap, or we can start buying oil to make it
Control
expensive.
the market. Yeah.
Right.
So obviously, like the graph shows, and everyone talks about like, oh, man, oil reserves, it's not good. Well, you know how, like, heck, I was just at the gas station today. It was only like 410, which is pretty low. And a lot of people are like, how is it low? Why is the price not reflected yet? Well, it's because we're blowing through our reserves. Like we're smoking it like crazy. So the market
Yep.
hasn't had to react yet. Now, here's where things get crazy because when you talk about, okay, we have 330 million barrels left, this is where it gets crazy. So we had a month ago 374. This is a graph from a month ago. They were projecting, okay, by June 16th, we're tapping into this deeper tranche of the oil reserves. This is below 243 million barrels. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. We're closer to this timeline where we're not going to get there till August 16th.
Well, now,
This is
do
where
you know
things start.
how much oil does the U.S. use a day? Do you know?
22 million barrels. But
22
people,
million. I thought it'd be way more.
we're still getting oil. Like we're still importing oil. We're still drilling oil. It's just clearly it's
Right.
not enough because we're having to blow through reserves. Here's where things really get crazy. So again, you're looking at this. Here's where we're at now. At this point, we're somewhere over here around 330 million. Once we start getting into these, this is where oil gets much more expensive to get, and it's just kind of danger zone, threat level midnight kind of thing. Check this out though.
Threat level midnight.
This is where things get crazy. You see this subterranean salt cavern? This is where the oil is. Like a lot of it.
What do you know about subterranean salt caverns?
I'm not even kidding. If you go to the Secretary of Energy website and look up the oil reserves, it talks about how of the 330 million left, like 200 million of it is in these salt caverns. Here's why that matters. When you talk about oil reserves, in my head, until today, I'm thinking, it's on tap in metal drums, whatever. It's super accessible. Then I saw this guy on Twitter, Brendan Weichert. He's on point with this. He posts about this, how no, it's not just in these easily accessible barrels. It's in these caverns. Here's why that's complicated. Well, I'll show you in a second. Here's where this gets complicated.
Okay.
This is a report as of June 19th. So what? Friday, Saturday? 330 million barrels, right? 123 is sweet. 200 million is sour. Here's what that means. 123 million is going to be easily attainable in these caverns. 200 million is sour. That means is even though it's deep in here, it's not feasible to get. Because you look at these salt caverns, the way they do it, they literally flood water. They pump water down in there so the oil starts to float up to the top. Problem is, when you're pumping water through these salt caverns, the walls start to collapse in and collapses in on the remaining oil, which is why we're thinking like 123 million of it we can get. So you do the math, you're like, shoot, man, we don't have, our oil reserve didn't go from like 700 to 330 million. Like we really have like 120 million, which, right, again, it's 123 million sweet, 200 million sour. Here's where that's crazy. How much oil is consumed in the United States a day? 20 million barrels. 5-day safety net, 6-day safety net. So, meaning
Oh, man.
now we're not going to get there to where we're not importing or drilling for oil. But if something did happen to our oil refineries or, something bad, we have a 5-day safety net, which is not good. You can't do anything with that. That's no bueno. Point is with all of this, why the whole freaking war? Why deplete our oil? I got to put Blair back to sleep, but that's my daughter. Shout out Blair. Point is, why did we get ourselves into this thing? Because, I'm sure you hear this too. I hate when people make super strong assumptions. They know what's going on. They're like, oh, Trump's just an idiot. Maybe. Or
well, okay.
the people running the show are an idiot. They knew what was coming. The people pulling the strings knew what was coming when we started this war.
Well, so let me ask you. I see the picture I've pulled up. Do you think that their end goal or the end game of all this is they're releasing oil to try to subsidize the price and get our votes, get people to like conservatives more?
That no, because I don't think it's just. Maybe I can't say no. I hate it when people have strong assumptions. I can't say no, but to me, it's just way deeper than that. Because you look here, I just pulled up how much things have changed. Tulsi was saying no war with Iran. Now, where is she? No idea. Trump, Obama will start a war with Iran to win re-election. He was against going to war with Iran. I know he said the stuff about, they can never have no, nuclear weapons, but why are we going to war with them now when that was completely unnecessary? Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Should the U.S. get involved in Israel's war against Iran? No. And if you remember a year ago, Charlie was the guy going to the White House telling Trump, you can't do it. Charlie got Trump in the White House. He's probably the biggest political operative in America till he died, which is why I just get back here. And this is a problem. This is the end of my receipts and evidence of what's going on and why we're here. I know it has something to do with killing Charlie Kirk. I know they killed Charlie Kirk, whoever that is, because he was in the way of this war with Iran. But I don't know the MO.
Yeah.
I think I'm is it to force economic collapse and recession so they can regain control? What is it? I don't know. But it was clearly orchestrated, in my opinion.
I don't think some people realize, and I'm sure you're aware of this too, how many reserves the U.S. has. Okay, I mean, going back to the oil reserve, we have an oil reserve. You've probably heard about the cheese reserve. Have you heard how much cheese we have?
Federal Reserve.
Look up how much cheese we have. The cheese is going bad, by the way. It doesn't last forever. Okay, so we have a cheese reserve. We have a huge gold reserve, the biggest the world,
right?
The biggest the world has
ever. But a lot of that's fake.
Time.
A lot of that's paper gold. That's not real.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, did you know that?
Are they spending it, or why are we losing
this out. This is.
Yeah, this is the cheese.
U.S. cheese stockpile, 1.5 billion.
Billion pounds.
Billion.
Holy
Wait,
cow.
Is that billion pounds? Yeah, 1.5 billion pounds. Right.
That's crazy. I don't think a lot of people realize the people who set up our economy were actually really smart. The people who got these things going knew that this could be a big tool to us. Going back to even the SPR, right, the oil reserve, it's not meant as an emergency thing where, oh man, if we run out of oil or if we go to war, we have some oil, because that thing will last us, maybe 2 weeks tops.
Right.
Right. What it's meant to do is it's meant to influence global economies, make the U.S. dominant. Even with cheese here, at one point, the dairy, what's it called? The Dairy Association, American Dairy Association.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Went to Congress, they lobbied, they said, hey, we want to be the world's dominant dairy supplier. And what the U.S. did after both the world wars, when people weren't buying dairy from us, is they would buy the dairy, make this long-lasting government cheese and cheese powder to make sure that farmers were still getting money, to make sure that our supply or the demand for dairy didn't drop. Now, that was done artificially, but it did help American dairy farmers. We have a ton of reserves that the U.S. will artificially subsidize or artificially increase the demand for. But it does help U.S. workers, U.S. farmers. So it's not a bad thing when you hear we have cheese.
That's true. What I'm trying to get at is, like you said, with how important the oil reserve is, why would we go to a war where we knew it was going to deplete our reserves? I mean, I don't know if we knew Iran was going to whoop our butts.
Because they had nuclear bombs.
Why?
Because they had nuclear bombs.
True.
Weapons of mass destruction.
Right. But seriously, why did the people pulling the strings why'd they do it? Why did they kill Charlie? And why was it so important to go to war with Iran? And that to me is where the real question is, and what comes of it might be something we don't expect.
Our beloved president, Donald J. Trump, just got the biggest ear piercing anyone's ever seen. And it's completely filled in. It's crazy. Nobody knows what happened.
We're going to have to talk about that one too. Because to me, when I look, going back at this, I see what Tulsi's saying. I see what Trump's saying to where we are now. That's compromised. Like, if these even were their true opinions,
Tulsi's
not
compromised. She doesn't want a war with Iran, does she?
But she didn't do anything about it. She just sat by, and now they're getting rid of her. So even if
what is Tulsi's position? What could she do? I don't even know.
She's the DNI.
She's the military officer.
She's the director of national intelligence. So the CIA technically reports to her. Problem is, then you run into the issue where field agents are flooding her office to pull out things on JFK, UFOs, and Fauci or whatever because they don't want her to be able to do her job. So you're right. Like someone like Tulsi, she very well may have had the right opinion. She just couldn't do anything about it and wanted to stay in office to do more harm than good, maybe. Point is,
does the FBI report to her as well?
I think so. I think the FBI and CIA.
I wonder what those conversations with her and Kash Patel are like. I feel like she would try to avoid Kash Patel. I would try to avoid Kash Patel.
Yeah.
Did he say to Charlie Kirk, he was like, "See you in Valhalla, brother.
See you in Valhalla." And
so crazy.
You're not ready for this one. The Charlie Kirk shooter.
Oh, I love that before and after of Kash Patel getting elected. It's crazy.
You're not gonna believe this. This one is crazy to me, right? See you in Valhalla. You're not ready for this. It's opening an Instagram. I hope it doesn't.
Okay, cool.
Well, it's not going to play, but when he says "see you in Valhalla," you've probably seen this picture with Charlie Kirk's shooter here. Check in. So this screen that's on his monitor it's an island called Valhalla, or like there's a Valhalla welcome center on this island.
No.
The point is, dude, it's all fake. All fake.
Go back. What's the source on that?
We'll do it in our next video. I'm just saying, it's all this, dude. It's all planned and fake. And I think going to war with Iran was a big part of it because it was an important step to, I don't know, put us on our knees so that now when there is a oil shock, we only have a 5-day reserve and we're screwed. Or I don't know the purpose yet, but I think we're about to find out.
I'm Googling it too. Have you seen that Illuminati card game that has predicted so many things in the 2000s?
No.
It predicted Trump getting elected, predicted 9/11. I believe there's something about Charlie Kirk's death in there as well.
There's a lot in Charlie Kirk's death that has been predictive programming. I'm
gonna look it up.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff.
The Illuminati card game, which came out in the year 1982, predicted the 9/11 attacks,
9/11.
the COVID-19 pandemic, Donald Trump, or a charismatic, blonde-haired, rich leader,
right,
getting elected as president, January 6th Capitol riot, where U.S. citizens stormed the Capitol. What random things just have predicted in 1980s card game.
Oh, it's so random.
Yeah.
And that's why it feels real. Plus, there's that movie Snake Eyes. Have you heard of this one?
I haven't heard of this. Cash Patel's got the snake eyes, I tell you.
I know. Yeah, okay. Why Nicolas Cage's movie Snake Eyes is linked to Charlie Kirk's assassination. Okay. So the parallels. Oh, it's going to take me on a thread of articles. Let's see if this mentions the parallels. Okay.
What's that ad that says hot moms near you? Kidding. It doesn't say that.
So it's going to make me dig through it. This guy is, or maybe this guy, one of them Secret Service, one of them is running for president or is president, and his name is literally Charlie Kirk. And he gets shot
No way.
on, I think literally gets shot on September 10th or something insane like that. You know, it wants me to read the whole freaking article.
His name is Charlie
fake, dude.
Kirkland.
Yeah, president. Oh, that's right. Charlie Kirkland. Right.
No way, though. That's crazy.
That gets to a deeper element of it, which is like, is it all central casting? Meaning Charlie Kirk was never a real boy and it was like all fake the whole time and predictive programmed. That's pretty deep in the weeds. And
we got to make a graphic, like, because there's no human that could accurately predict that happening. I don't think there's a human mastermind.
no,
I think there's an extraterrestrial mastermind.
right,
The devil himself. That's what I think is planning.
right, right.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, we're going to have to touch on that in one of our next videos because there's a lot to this one. The whole reason I wanted to make this one is just to briefly surmise that, yeah, I mean, I know we're not the first ones, but clearly it's all connected. I know they always say that, but Charlie Kirk was preventing us from going to war with Iran literally 1 year ago. 3 months later, they kill him. Another couple months later, they kick off the war. And it's going to lead somewhere that we just don't know where. Any last thoughts?
Yeah, I just think we got to be informed in this. I have a lot of friends who kind of laugh when I start to bring up conspiracies or other people start bringing up conspiracies. We got to believe that anything could happen. Most people agree with that statement. Anything could happen. The government
they don't really
will
believe it.
Right. They believe that it happened in ancient Rome. They just don't believe it's happening today.
No. And that's why we're starting this freaking channel, because we need the second American Revolution. I'm not stuck. I'm not going to take my, you get the point. I'm not going to.
You got a wife and kids.
I got a wife and kids.
I don't. I could.
You could. No violence. We're nonviolent, extremely peaceful. But
we don't believe the government lies.
Never.
I love Benjamin Netanyahu.
And I can't wait for this to get monetized.
Yeah.
Have a good night, everyone.